Previously on Blue Healers.
What about Charlie Clark?
Who?
Charlie Clark. Look, I know he's an idiot.
Yes, he is an idiot.
That is a calumny, an absolute calumny.
What?
I'm a plumber. I plumb. Stand back.
UFOs.
Yeah. Well, there were flashing lights in the dark, spinning, high-pitched whine. Meow. A touch of overzealousness with a sling. Ew. Ugly.
What's this?
It's just a warm washer. No drip now. No charge either.
Oh, well, thank you.
This is Pam, the plumber.
We've got a new plumber in Mount Thomas. Well, that is good news. Tom Croydon.
Hi.
Patrick Hashem. Charlie Clark will be delighted.
Yeah.
That's why Pam wanted to see you for a minute.
He's the little Weasley bloke, right? Smells like an outback dunny.
That's the one.
Yeah, he's stalking me.
Charlie.
Not personally, professionally.
How?
Well, every job I turn up to, he turns up 30 seconds after me and starts underquoting me and making sexist remarks about how women make useless plumbers.
Pam was wondering if we could ask him to cut it out.
Well, how does he know where you're going?
Well, that's what's creepy. He must be following me.
All right, we'll have a word.
Boss, Chris is here to see you.
All right.
I'll get out of your hair then.
Oh, and give Constable Parish an invoice on your way out. We can't accept freebies.
Oh, fair enough. Just keep me in mind next time you need a plumber. Quick, efficient and competitive.
Not bad looking either.
Cyber terrorism.
Yes.
How's this cyber terrorism manifesting itself, Chrissy? Someone rigged the mix to squirt soda instead of lemonade?
It's a smell.
A smell.
A really, really bad smell. I'm not exaggerating. It started this morning and I'm not the only one. It's affecting the whole block.
You think it's deliberate?
So, where does the computer angle come in?
Look, I was talking to my cousin Dominic in Benalla. He said exactly the same thing happened about a month before their Arts and Crafts Festival. And what have we got coming up?
Tourism and Development Conference.
Right, and now this happens 2 days before I've got 6 delegates coming to stay at the pub. It is no coincidence.
I still don't understand where.
It's the sewers, the treatment plant. Dominic didn't know all the details from Benalla, but it's something about the pumping stations being controlled by the computers that send their data via radio. Someone gets into the system, stuffs it up, stinks out the whole town when they can least afford it, and then they demand a huge amount of money to fix it up.
You've had demands?
Not yet.
Well, this isn't a job for the coppers, Chrissy. You need a plumber. And you're in luck. We can recommend one.
Tom, Rotary have sponsored this conference along with the Chamber of Commerce. You know how important this is.
All right. I'll get on to the Benalla Police and see what they can tell me. In the meantime, I'm sure PJ won't mind having a bit of a nosy down at the pub.
Hey, folks, come on. It's happy hour prices all day till it's fixed.
Chris, hey, OK, look, your point's made. I'll tell Tom you're not exaggerating. Can we get the lunches?
Well, aren't you going to go down to the cellar? You should see what's coming out of those drains.
Joe,
Give me a break.
please. I'm the detective. You're the constable. Thank you.
Rather you than me, love. It's got worse since you came back, I'm afraid.
So I smell.
I think we'll go back to the caravan park for lunch after all. I'm sorry.
Look, do come back for dinner because we should have it all sorted out by
We'll
then.
be back, but it's Fergus.
You really need a plumber.
That's what I told her.
Yeah, well, I'm not having Charlie Clark back here. He's a menace.
You don't need Charlie. There's a new kid on the block.
You're quick.
P for Pam, P for prompt. Thanks for the referral.
You're welcome. Always pays to leave your card.
So you're the plumber?
Pam's prompt plumbing, and I'd say this is an emergency, right?
Right, cellar's this way.
I don't think so. I believe I have a contract in situ, don't I, Christine?
No, you don't, Charlie. You used to have a monopoly. Now I've got a choice. Pam this way.
Now, hang on, una memento. Nobody wants to get misogynistic here, but it is general knowledge that plumbing is a male art. Women generate your basic plumbing problems. They don't solve them.
That is a load of crap. He's following me.
I'm not following her. I'm following the nose. And the nose told me I was needed.
Well, you're not. Come on, Pam, this way.
Oh, move, will you? This is harassment.
Au contraire, darling. I'm merely protecting my business interests. Do you want this to get out of hand?
Charlie, you're obstructing the woman. Let her do her job.
Oh, but Mr. Hashem, all I'm trying...
In fact, why don't you come down the station and explain to us why you're following Miss Patterson around.
I'm not following her, I'm following the
nose.
She's stealing my work. I've got a non-verbal agreement with Chris. What's needed here, Mr. Croydon, is some of your wisdom of Sodom.
I think you'll find that's wisdom of Solomon, Charlie.
See? He knows. He knows.
Yes, but what do you know? You were the last person to work on those drains.
Precisement. I'm the only one who's been near Chris's plumbing for years. Ergo, I have a right of title under my non-verbal contract, yes?
No, there is no such thing as a non-verbal contract. Now, I was asking you if you had any idea why these drains are backing up.
Well, I'm hardly likely to be able to tell without getting a squizzaroonie, am I? You'll just have to rely on that Jenny-come-late-this diagnosis, won't you?
How are you following it, Charlie?
I told you, I'm following this. See, I've got the nose,
Yeah,
and
and
the
the
nose...
nose smells dripping taps. Unless, of course, they're in police stations.
She's stirring. She's making trouble for an honest bloke who's just trying to scrape together a living in the face of diversity. I need a judgment, Mr. Croydon.
On what?
Vis-a-vis my right of title re the pub.
Well, you haven't got one. Now leave Pam Patterson alone.
Well, is there anything we can nail him with? Industrial espionage?
Well, if he's bugged a phone, we can go him.
It's an interesting day. First cyber terrorism, now industrial espionage.
Well, we might all just owe Chris an apology on that one. Benalla have just confirmed their case. Local coppers say that the festival organisers undercut their investigation by paying out what they describe as a large sum of money. And, of course, they never caught the crook.
I'd really like to check out Charlie's house. I mean, he's got to be up to something.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. Let's chase up some information from our treatment plant, too. See if there are any similarities between their system and the one in Benalla.
Oh, Joanna, you're with me.
Yeah.
Put a sock in it, Dylan.
You know the words that blowing in the
There's a
wind?
cold one in the fridge. Pumpkin, if you'd be so kind as to... Over there. Hossifers! Come to apologise, have we?
Hey, you got yourself a new toy, have you, Charlie?
What?
The two-way.
What two-way?
Found a possum.
Oh, this two-way.
Well, where'd you get it? Fall off the back of a truck, eh?
I acquired this by legal means and fair, second-hand, and I have the exquisite documentation to prove it.
Love to see it. Inside?
Here we are, sweet cakes and ice cold. Oh, geez, what's going on?
Just making a few inquiries, Raylene.
G'day, Raylene.
Hi, PJ.
How you going?
Yeah, all right.
Good.
Ta.
Hey, more new toys, Charlie.
Yeah, and it's bought and paid for.
Ah, very nice.
Yeah, stage of the arts, that is.
I just didn't know you were a computer buff.
Oh, I bought it for rails, you know, for the internet, shopping and whatnot, you know. Hey, pumpkin.
That's all right.
Yeah.
And recipes, because you know I wait a man's heart through his stomach.
Never was much of a cook.
Oh. I'll go get those receipts for you, shall I?
Yeah, Ta.
No worries.
Charlie, what's going on? Computers, two ways.
Just joining the technocracy, Mr. Hasham.
I don't believe him.
Oh, what we need is a real computer whiz to check that gear out.
You think that might be Charlie's nose?
I bet my socks on it. He's using the computer and the two-way together somehow.
To track his competition?
Probably.
And you think he's part of this scam with the sewers as well?
Still only a possible scam, Parish.
Well, it's more than possible. If our pumping stations are radio-controlled like Benalla's, you probably read about it somewhere. Got the idea. He's a cunning little rat.
Well, like I said, I mean, we need to check out his equipment to find out.
I'm not going anywhere near Charlie's equipment.
Boss, there have been 3 more of these things, all here in Victoria with different utility companies. Plus, Evan found out that all the plants operate on basically the same system that we've got.
Let's see.
There's someone here to see you.
Here he is now.
Yeah, Patrick Hasham, can I help you?
I hope so. Hi, my name is Marco. You live up at the Fioli house?
Yeah, that's right.
Marco's just got back to town. He's looking for some work.
We don't happen to have a degree in computer sciences, do you?
Only half one.
What, really?
Yeah, dropped out.
Oh, well, you might still be able to help us. If someone's got a two-way, right?
No. Jesus.
What's the problem?
The guy's new in town. He's got a background in computers, and you start giving the deets on the ongoing investigation.
Yeah, into Charlie Clark.
Well, if Chris is right, and there is a sewage scam going on, there's going to be a number of suspects, aren't there?
Right, so he's trying to extort money from the Chamber of Commerce, and to cover his tracks, he drops into the police station to say good day.
You know who that was?
Was? I thought he wanted to see me.
Well, he did. It turns out that I'd do instead. It was Marco Fiorelli, our landlord's son. He wanted to see if he could bunk down at his old house.
Oh, I hope he said no.
No, I said it'd be okay. He's going to get his gear. Why? Is that a problem?
Yes, it is. That's not the deal we had with the Fiorellis. He can't just wander back into town and demand his old room back.
He didn't demand, he asked. Anyway, it's his father's house. We don't use that room anyway, it's all locked up.
What, he's going to pay for food and power and stuff, is he? Yeah, I thought he was unemployed.
Well, at least we can keep an eye on him.
He wants to move into a house full of coppers. He's even less likely to be involved, don't you think?
Chris, I'm looking into it. We're all looking into it. Yes, your cousin's information appears to be...
These other scams. Any physical descriptions of the suspects?
No, nothing. In two of the
we don't
cases, the
have-
victims
not
just
yet.
paid
Not
up,
yet.
leaving the investigators with nothing to go on.
Oh, and the other?
They flew in a consultant to fix it. Crook disappeared.
Oh, has she? All right. Yeah, we'll be right down. Let's go down to the pub. Pam, the plumber, has come up with some new information.
You get used to it, sort of.
Good.
See, I've pumped out over 1,000 litres already and there's still backup.
And that means...
Well, that means that the problem has to be back at the pumping stations.
Whatever happened to plungers and electric ears?
We still use them. This is just a more sophisticated diagnostic tool. It's the program that gives me a grid of the St David's area sewage system.
These pumping stations, how do they work?
I'm not sure exactly. I do know that they're radio-controlled, but that's all.
Radio controlled, huh?
Is that right?
Tom, I think you might find this interesting.
A demand for $5,000?
Little weasel, he's suing me for breach of contract and loss of future earnings. He has got to be joking.
Well, it's got no basis in law, so I'd just ignore it if I were you.
I don't know. A subtle extortion demand?
Charlie Clark, subtle.
Still worth a chat.
If you can get a word in edgeways.
Hey, Jim Tyrrell from the plant's here.
I can't fix it, not myself.
What do you mean you can't fix it? Pam says the problem has to be at the plant.
And I agree with that. Backing up from this whole part of the grid.
Mr Tyrrell, if it's backing up to the plant and you're the works engineer, surely
Yeah,
you should...
times have changed, Senior Sergeant. The company's changed too. If I could send somebody up there with a spanner to fix it, I would. It's all high-tech software stuff, not my field of expertise.
There must be somebody up there who can fix it.
St David's Water's a subsidiary of a much bigger outfit now. Fully privatised, with all the staff cutbacks and so-called streamlining that goes with it. I'm the last man standing. I'll be gone in 3 weeks too. Redundant.
That's stupid.
I told them that. And I told them something like this could happen. They'll pack it. Well, it's all about the almighty dollar now, and computers are cheaper than people.
Well, sounds like we need to talk to head office.
I will be. You can have their number too, if you like. They're in Houston, in Texas.
Oh, great.
Oh, they'll probably just refer you to their software supplier. Good luck.
We're running out of time here, Tom. Those delegates are due here tomorrow afternoon. They're just going to run a mile from this stink. We're going to be losing hundreds of thousands of dollars in the long term.
It's nothing to do with me. I bought the computer for rails, not for cipher terrorism.
Cyber terrorism.
You see, Charlie, the pumping stations at the plant are radio controlled.
And the signal that operates them is sent by computer.
Oh, there you go, see? Highly complex.
Well, not really.
Well, for your basic novice like me, it is.
So tell us about your two-way, Charlie. Does it have data transmitting capability?
You've been generating a bit of work for yourself, have you?
Well, even if I was, I'm not getting it, am I? I told you, I'm just trying to stay abreast of the competition.
Just how high-tech is the competition? Not Pam. She's got a computer and stuff, but she seems pretty squeaky clean to me.
Costs a lot of money to run a business like that. Cash flow problems?
Now, how did you go without Charlie?
What, me? Never! You're barking up the wrong deciduous object.
Usual verbal diarrhea.
What if he's telling the truth?
Charlie, he doesn't know how to tell the truth.
So, maybe he's hiding something else.
Well, such as?
Maybe keeping up with the competition means exactly that. He's using his two-way to interrogate a bug.
Excuse me?
Well, you could put a tracking device on Pam's truck.
Picks up the signal, tracks on the computer.
Yeah, right.
So what do we do? Search the truck?
Well, Ben and Evan are already out on patrol.
I just had it cleaned. I didn't notice anything.
Yeah, they can be pretty small. Easy to hide.
Pretty hard to find. Hang on. One tracking device.
So this is a crime, right?
Certainly is. If he's been following her, I wonder why he didn't turn up at this job.
Because he was busy chatting to us.
Let's see if he turns up at the next one, eh?
Thanks, Pam. Thanks, guys.
Right.
Happy hunting.
Oh, no, mate. We are the hunted.
That's all right. Come to Mama.
I know you're there, Miss Patterson. This is private property, and you are in trespass, so if my dog bites... What?
Well, Pam's back pumping out the pub. What made you think it'd be her?
This, maybe?
Do you want to end up inside?
Bloke can't win.
You don't deserve to win, not if you've been cheating.
It's not cheating. It's not exactly industrious espionage, is it? I mean, it's standard business practice to monitor your opposition activities. And in this technological age, one has to use all the means at one's disposition, doesn't one?
Yes, within the law, one does.
Just don't tell the Minister for Internal Affairs, OK? She thinks I bought the computer for her, you know, shopping and such like.
Right, on the radio?
To stay in touch because I miss her. She'll have my proverbial guts for the actual garter belt. And that is a prodigious object, believe me.
Well, you better come clean with her then, Charlie. She's going to find out when this goes to court.
Court?
You've committed an offence under the Privacy Act. You may also receive a summons in relation to illegally installing a tracking device. Is that clear?
Oh, crystal.
Good. Are you satisfied with your treatment here today?
Oh, bordering on delirium. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah.
Fine. Sign here.
But do I get my gear back?
That'll be up to the court. In the meantime, we'll look after it for you, to help you avoid temptation.
Oh, very risible, Senior Sergeant. I'll be lucky to avoid amputation when Raylene finds out.
So he took the bait?
Didn't you see the hook in his mouth?
What if this still has something to do with the problems at the plant?
What, how?
Well, what's the bandwidth on Charlie's two-way? Maybe he accidentally interrupted the signals that operate the pumping stations.
Could be. Well, who would know if that's possible? Not Jim Tyrrell, that's for sure.
Well, it sounds feasible enough, but honestly, I wouldn't know enough to comment. Why don't you talk to that bloke who's talking to Chris?
What, the tourist?
Systems engineer, apparently. Retired. Oh, hey, thanks for collaring Charlie Clark. Should make life a lot easier.
Oh, it was our pleasure, believe me.
Anytime.
What?
It's just a bit weird, isn't it? Suddenly we've got boffins coming out of our backsides.
Boffins? Get with the program, PJ. Nerds, tech heads. Boffins.
Mr. Macaulay, is it?
McCallum.
How do you do? I'm Senior Detective Hasham. Understand you're a software expert.
I used to be, but I'm retired. I'm doing the big caravan trip, you know, the second honeymoon.
Ah, good for you.
I've just got a question I need to ask you.
Of course. Say there's a device activated by radio sending data from a computer.
Yes.
Could the signal be accidentally given by another radio?
Well, technically, but you'd have to get into the system and check the frequencies to find out.
Right. Thanks.
That's what I'm trying to do, is to persuade Fergus to get over to that bloody plant, talk to Jim Tyrrell, access their system and sort this mess out.
I'd love to help you, Chris. Honestly, I would, but I promised Lorraine this would be a proper holiday. No work.
It'll only take a couple of hours.
Oh, a day. Half a day, at least.
Look, it's really important for the town. Honestly, we'll pay you well, and it's this conference... hello? What? You'll do what you can. That is fantastic. Yeah, can you send them to the address I gave you, the Imperial Hotel? Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you.
They're sending some of that.
Never take no for an answer.
Well, there you go. You get your pong dealt with, and Lorraine gets a holiday of a lifetime without interruption. Oh, speaking of which, I must pick her up from the hairdresser, so I'll be Cactus. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
So, it's possible but unlikely.
Well, we need to get into the system to find out. And some boffin... Geek from the company's going to come tomorrow and check it out.
Tomorrow? But what if it turns out to be not accidental?
Then we ask some old-fashioned questions like who stands to gain by it and who had the means.
Well, Charlie's got the gear, but he definitely doesn't have the nous to do this deliberately.
No, he doesn't, but he did put in a bill for $5,000.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Pam's bill is too then, won't it?
The persuasive pong of poo is too much even for me, Christine.
Yeah, well, she seems to have all the nous and a computer.
Yeah, but no radio.
And mate Marco's got plenty of theories going. He's blinding Chris with science.
He's not my mate.
Here you go. I didn't know you drank Sam Booker.
I'm not going to drink it, I'm going to sniff it.
Well, what about Marco, eh? I mean, he arrives in town, he's a computer geek.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the gear either.
Or any money. There's a motive.
No demand has been made.
What we get.
Now, that Fergus bloke, he's got the knowledge, but he doesn't want to get involved. Not even for a fee.
What about Jim Tyrrell? Made redundant? Being forced to look after a whole lot of machines he doesn't understand? Till he acts false? This could be an attack on the company, not the town.
Maybe.
Except, I mean, he doesn't have the knowledge, and he's not asking for
Hey,
it.
you got a second? It came up when I bumped the mouse.
I'll make the smell fade at 9 o'clock tonight to prove I can control it. 100 grand will get rid of it altogether. Interested? Leave a red towel where I can see it before 10 a.m. and I'll be in touch.
Stinker.
I suppose we should be grateful. We finally got our extortion demand.
So this now officially is a crime. It's not an accident, it's not a joke, it's a crime.
So do something about it.
Hey, guys, can I get a key to the house? I'm ready to hit the sack.
Have we discussed a contribution to food and utilities?
It'll be all right to do that in the morning, won't it?
Yeah, well, why don't I take you up there?
It's all right. I've got wheels.
And you can follow me. I'll be back later.
Yeah, hey, Jim. You're not going to leave him alone there, are you?
Okay, then I won't be back.
Has she got a problem with you?
Ah, don't worry about it, mate.
What if the sewage really is backed up and somebody's just taking advantage of the situation?
That's still a crime, right?
Mm-hmm. It is.
They can't just be catching you without knowing how it works. They reckon they can fix the problem.
Yeah, but who says they'll do it? I mean, you bet your life the money has to be dropped off somewhere. They'll pick it up and skip, leave Chris with the pong.
In all the other cases, when the money's been paid, the problem has disappeared.
So they knew what they were doing.
And the stink is fading. I mean, the air freshener's almost covering it up now.
That's because the pumps are working again, like they're promised.
At 9 o'clock.
All right, let's get out of here. We've only got till 10 a.m. to nail this bozo.
What's going on?
Extortion demand.
Well, what about access to type the thing?
Oh, yeah, I got to snuck in and typed it.
Where did you find it? Can we try getting prints off the keyboard?
They wiped it. That's what all this gobbledygook is at the bottom. Anyway, all the potential suspects could have just walked in and done it, couldn't they?
Well, Charlie was in the pub.
Oh, and that Fergus bloke, he's been in and out all day.
Yeah, and Marco was there.
Yes, and Pam the prompt, and Jim Tyrrell.
Full house.
Oh, so anybody could have done it.
Well, Chris may as well start ringing around and hitting people up for money now.
Chris won't want to do that.
Well, excuse me, Chris can speak for herself, and she might just consider it if it comes to it.
Chris, if you pay him, we won't catch him.
Oh, so the town misses out on its biggest business opportunity in years just so your arrest record will look good?
Hey, this has got nothing to do with...
PJ,
No,
that's
it's got
enough,
nothing
that's
to do
enough.
with my arrest record.
Please, Chris.
Anyway, it might sort itself out in the morning when the software expert arrives and overrides the hacking or whatever it is, and we'll all be back in business for the conference.
We can't ignore this. This is an extortion demand, Chris.
Blackmail.
I'm not suggesting that we ignore it.
All right, then what are you suggesting?
All I'm saying, as Chris has pointed out, is the problem could disappear in the morning. You've lost every chance you would have had to catch Stinker.
All right, sorry. Tess, we need to move on some warrants.
Warrants tonight.
We got suspects, we need warrants, we need to do searches.
All right, but you better give me everything you've got, because the magistrate is going to take a bit of persuading.
Hey.
Ah, pizza, excellent. Where's PJ?
Putting together some affidavits for search warrants with Tess. Yeah, I let my natural good nature overcome my basic mistrust and bought enough for the Wanderer.
Well, he's let himself into his old room, you know, that first locked one down the corridor.
Oh, I'll see if he wants to shell out for the pizza.
Yes.
Marco, dinner's served.
Hi. How you doing?
Yeah, dinner's served.
Didn't know I was getting room service too.
Yeah, you're not. It's on the table. Pizza and wine. I'll set up a tab, shall I?
Hey, I'm not totally broke. I'll get my wallet.
It's like a computer warehouse in there.
So,
This is cold. You could have put it in the oven.
Look, he's got computers and
Look, we'll check it
gizmos
out
and...
in the morning.
Yeah, but...
Look, we don't even know what we're looking for.
He's right. You're going to need someone to tell you what's what.
Here you go, mate. Think Joe saved you some.
So, Marco, why don't you take any of your gear with you on your travels?
Gear?
In your room.
Oh, that stuff. No, I set that up when I was doing the computer engineering course. Got sick of it. Dad was pretty routed.
How far did you get with the course?
Did most of my degree. But I was pretty useless at exams. I used to freak out. So in the end, I quit. I just mainly design games now.
Computer games, huh?
Wasting my time, my old man says, but I reckon I might get into it properly, you know? At least do something I enjoy.
Well, Chris was pretty impressed with your knowledge. She was picking your brain.
Yeah, I offered to help her out, but she reckons the real expert's coming tomorrow. Here, mate. Let me heat this up for you, eh? Nothing worse than cold pizza.
Thanks, Marco.
Yeah, well, now what?
Hot pizza, glass of vino, Betsky.
Oh, we're not going to stay up and watch him. I mean, those things are up and running.
Well, maybe he was just playing computer games.
Yeah, he's playing games, all right.
Tess spends half the night typing up those affidavits and Jane bloody Gray turns us down just like that.
Not just like that. In her opinion, there was insufficient evidence to issue warrants.
It's evidence we want to search.
I don't care if he's in a meeting with the Pope. I need to speak to him. He's not here, and look at the time.
Who's not here?
The expert, and he's not coming either. Apparently it's not an immediate priority, or at least that's what they had the gall to tell me.
Calm down. When was this?
I just rang a little while ago to see where this so-called software expert was, and he's going to be a few days, maybe even a week. Can't you do something?
What do you suggest I do? Fly to Houston and arrest a multinational corporation?
It is not funny. These delegates are due here this evening. And your precious Rotary is bursting to put Mount Thomas on the tourist map, as is my Chamber of Commerce. We have all worked so hard and put so much money into this. Oh, for God's sake, if you're not going to do anything about this, I will.
Well, I suppose I could offer this to Jane Grey as new evidence.
Boss, don't worry about it. Without that expert, we wouldn't know what we're looking for.
You're right. This is ridiculous.
But what do you think Chris meant?
They wouldn't be that stupid, would they?
Bunch of businessmen pooling their resources. They might just pay up.
$100,000? Come on.
Now, how many's in the Chamber of Commerce? Huh? 200 or more? It's $500 a pop.
Thanks a lot, Fergus. That's great.
Listen, you're not thinking about hanging out the tail and paying that money, are you?
Of course not. I'm not going to pay some creep of an extortionist. I've made other arrangements.
With Marco Fiorelli?
No, with Fergus McCallum. He knows about that software. He may have even had a hand in designing it. He used to work for the company that sold it to the equipment company that sold it to the treatment plant or something. Anyway, he's agreed to go in and help sort it out.
Ah, that's very kind.
And I've spoken to the committee and authorised payment. I mean, nothing's for nothing, eh?
So, how much are you paying?
Oh, the consultant rate's 10 grand. But it's a bargain compared to what Stinker's asking for, isn't it?
So the way you see it, McCallum uses his knowledge of the software to create the problem, then demands a huge sum of money he never really expects to get.
Then offers to fix the problem for a much smaller amount, which the victim is happy to pay.
Well, 10 grand isn't exactly peanuts. It's got to be him. Oh, I'd love to have a squiz inside that caravan.
Well, I can try the magistrate again. Well, the boss can.
Let's get some more information on McCallum first.
I'd just like to get him in here. Put a bit of pressure on him.
On what grounds? There's nothing criminal about charging $10,000 to fix an urgent problem.
Well, there ought to be.
Anyway, it's in everyone's interest that we let him fix the smell before we let him know we're onto him. As long as someone keeps an eye on him while he does it.
Without spooking him.
Exactly. So I'll go over there. In the meantime, you lot get off your backsides and find out that information about McCallum before he collects his cheque and does a run-up.
Visitor.
Oh, Senior Sergeant. Sorry, I didn't hear you. I like to work with the classics. Vivaldi.
Well, don't mind me. I'm just here to keep an eye on you. in case our extortionist tries to stop you from doing your job. Protection.
That's very considerate. Just don't lean over my shoulder, if that's all right.
Go make a cup of tea then, shall I? Do that, I think.
I'll give you a hand.
Yeah, he was in and out yesterday, but so were a lot of other people. You can't seriously think
Well,
that it
and
was...
the note, it was left after you told him a software expert was coming?
Well, yeah, but what does that do?
Well, nothing, but it might have put the pressure on a bit.
Hey, PJ, good thought to check the caravan parks in the other town that we hit. He was in Benalla at the right time, too.
And listen, I've been talking to this software company. He doesn't just know a little bit about the system. He was the one who actually designed it. And he hasn't retired. He was retrenched. He was laid off 6 months ago. Not happy, Jan.
You beauty.
Oh, no wonder he thinks he can fix it.
Jane Gray shouldn't have a problem with this, eh?
OK. But can't you let him do the job first? Those delegates arrive in a few hours.
I wouldn't worry about it, Chris. He probably built a backdoor into the system when he designed it. Should be a quick fix. Besides, we don't have enough evidence to make an arrest yet, do we?
Until we find the radio device.
Which brings us back to these search warrants.
Maybe not. See, I don't think his wife is in on the deal. I think she's on holidays.
No, there's no one here. It's locked.
John. Been on a bit of a spree, have you?
To St David, treating myself.
Yeah.
Are you looking for Fergus?
Oh, well, we were, yeah.
Oh, he'll still be up at the plant. The problem with the sewage? He's helping.
Ah, clever bloke.
Yeah, let me help you with these.
Oh, please.
Good.
It's been so lovely. Nice to see something of your own country, you know.
Absolutely.
Do you want me to get Fergus to call you?
We're just interested in finding out if your husband has a computer with him and radio gear.
No radio gear. Well, there's his laptop, of course, but well, he's taken that with him to the sewage place. What's this about?
Well, we have reason to believe that your husband may have tampered with the system and the plan.
What? How? Well, that's ridiculous. It's not possible.
Well, it is possible if he's got radio gear.
He doesn't. You can see.
Well, would you be happy for us to search?
Be my guest. I'll tell him you called. You'll no doubt be hearing from him.
Well, thanks very much for your cooperation.
Any other bright ideas, Chemo Sergeant?
Maybe he's got it along with the computer. Thanks again.
If you're thinking about calling the boss, this will be a bit more discreet than the radio.
No, he's got some sort of fancy laptop, nothing that looks like a radio transmitter. Could be built in, I suppose, but... You're all right, I'll have a look, but I don't know what it is I'm looking for.
I think I'm in.
Look, I don't want him getting suspicious. I'll have a look and I'll call you back, all right?
Can I say that again?
Well, Tom can't work it out. The bugger will be up and away before we can find out what he's doing.
Well, unless we catch him in cyberspace.
What? No.
Well, why not? If you're so sure Fergus McCallum's your man, then Marco isn't a suspect anymore.
He's a civilian. And you're suggesting we let him use police computers. The boss is going to go ballistic.
Well, he can bring in his own computer and he can be supervised.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, who's going to do the supervising?
Well, not you, that's for sure. Look, if he can get into the plant system and shake something loose while McCallum's working on it, McCallum might panic, give himself away.
Oh, I don't know.
It's worth a try, I mean, what else have we got? And we can persuade Charlie to lend us his fancy new radio.
Charlie?
Well, we can't trigger the system just using a computer.
No, not Charlie Clark, please.
If that gets damaged, somebody pays me for it.
Shut up, Charlie.
Incoming.
Not sure about this.
Can't you agreed it's worth a try? OK. Here's the rundown on the software you wanted from the company.
Great. All right, it looks easy.
The coffee wouldn't go on this, love.
Yeah, right.
Can I have just some quiet, please, as I work my magic?
Jess.
Joe.
Yeah.
What's that? Have you broken it?
Charlie.
There's a back door, all right, built in. See? This isn't even mentioned in the notes.
I think we have it.
Yes?
Ow!
What's that?
Oh, it's just a...
Have a look at this door.
Now he's really in the poo.
They're the delegates arriving, I take it.
They are, and
Oh, enough
it's
with the
almost
spray.
gone. Beautiful.
I'd offer to give you McCallum's check back to tear up, but I'm afraid it's evidence.
Oh, it's probably infectious.
Oh, cellar's all clear. You could eat off the floor. Almost.
Getting into the system was pretty straightforward, mainly because he designed a back door in the system when he made the program.
BJ, see?
All he really had to do was just go through a second trap door, send the signal and activate the right pumps. But I got in just about the same time as he did.
You don't say.
Oh, it's all double Dutch to me, this techno stuff.
My gear had better be sans blemish, Marconi.
Is McCallum all right?
Hospital's keeping him in for observation. There's an awful lot of nasties you can get from those ponds.
Yeah, you should have smelt him.
No, thank you.
So did you charge him?
No, he fell in by himself.
He will be charged as soon as he gets out of hospital. Then I'll gladly hand him over to Benalla.
Well, the second honeymoon's over then.
Afraid so.
All thanks to me, eh?
Huh?
Oh, my gear saved the day. Assisting the police through supplication of equipment. Yeah, well, I should have thought that would merit the dropping of all charges and the reinstitution of all property, Tom.
Senior Sergeant.
Senior Sergeant. I done me duty, didn't I?
And this way Raylene didn't find out. You haven't fessed up to her, have you, Charlie?
You'd still better.
Oh, but come on, Mr.
You'll
Croydon.
probably get your equipment back eventually, but we'll be keeping an eye on how you use it. As for your assistance today, I'll recommend that it be taken into consideration by the court.
Court?
Hey, can I get you another drink?
Yeah, why not?
Any chance of a consultant's fee for today?
Are you for real?
Well, nothing's for nothing, right?
Unbelievable.